Hey girl, hey, welcome to the Hey Girl, Hey podcast. I'm your host, Kim Miller. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. I am very excited to be back with new episodes starting last week, and they will be coming every week, y'all. So I'm going to start back doing some little intros. I used to do this in the beginning, and I'm going to bring it back. So just give a little update with my life. If you follow me, you know I'm back on 75 Hard. I am on day 15 right now, so that is in full effect. It's going really well. Second time around is so much better than the first. Very, very easy. Well, I'm not going to say very, very easy, but much easier. And we're leading about 52 people. So that has been really exciting and encouraging. And that is like a whole nother level of accountability that makes you just want to do well and do it right and finish strong. So I want to have like a big party on March 19th to show that we finished that. But yeah, things are going great. I hope everybody is doing well. Me and my family did have COVID over Christmas, which kind of sucked, but it wasn't so bad. We really didn't have any symptoms, and we were able to still spend Christmas together. We tested negative on Christmas Eve, and I was so happy. But yeah, all things are well. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm so excited for you guys to hear this episode that I just recorded with my girl Ayesha Shelton, who is an amazing real estate agent. She is part owner of a developing company with her husband, and she has so much going on, y'all. So I really feel like you guys are going to enjoy this episode and learn so much. If you have a desire to be in real estate, I think this will be really good for you. Even if you don't think you have a desire to be in real estate, but you are kind of dibbling and dabbling, or even if you want to have some ownership, I mean, just to hear what this girl has done with her family has been so encouraging for me and my husband today. So I hope this really encourages you guys. I hope everybody is doing good, but I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. So here's my interview with Ayesha Shelton.
Hey girl, hey, yeah, woo, woo. Let's go. Hey girl, hey, yeah, woo, let's go.
Hey girl, hey, welcome to the Hey Girl, Hey podcast. I'm your host, Kim Miller. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. I have the beautiful Ayesha Shelton with me. I've been wanting to get you for a while.
Yes.
So, okay, before I just start going off, let me let you introduce yourself, and then we'll get into all the things that you got going on.
Okay. Introduction. So, Ayesha Shelton.
Yes.
I am the owner of Park Street Homes, co-owner of Park Street Homes with my husband, Kevin Shelton.
Yes.
The co-host of Marriage and Real Estate podcast with my husband, Kevin Shelton, and the leader of the Ayesha Shelton team, which is a team of real estate agents.
You are a boss babe, I call you.
I'm a busy girl.
And you're a mom?
Yes. Mom to 3. So
Yes.
I have a 13-year-old bonus daughter, a 4-year-old, soon to be 5, and a 1-year-old, soon to be 2.
Yes, and we work together at Braden Real Estate Group,
Yes,
and we
we do.
also have a mutual friend, Tanisha, that we found that out.
Yes.
So we have a few different connections, but I absolutely love when I see women just like killing it. And one of the things I love about the Braden Real Estate Group is they're so supportive of everybody doing stuff.
Yep.
And it's like they really want everybody to win. And you are an example of that, like winning in the agency. So I want you to talk a little bit about like your upbringing. Give me like a 5-minute intro to who you are, what life looked like growing up, all the things.
Okay, let's see. So, born and raised in Galveston, Texas, BOI.
Oh, girl, we might be cousins.
Okay.
My family is from Galveston.
Is it really?
Yes.
Last name?
My mom's side, so the Tyler side.
Okay, tell me at least one person who is around in between their 35 and 40. Maybe 35, 45.
That still lives out there.
Or lived there when they were younger.
Right. I'm trying to think. Everybody kind of migrated more into like Texas City, League City.
Of course.
We'll talk about it on the side.
Okay,
I don't wanna,
on the side. And
Yeah.
the reason why I say that is because anytime somebody goes, oh, I know somebody from Galveston, I'm like, what's their name? What's their mama name?
'cause
What's their
you gonna know
cousin's name?
somebody.
Because we all just kind of,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So BOI, and I am the kind of like the middle child. So my parents had 2. I have an older brother, myself, and then my dad has a daughter. So I am the middle of 3. Grew up with my brother only, so myself and my brother, and graduated from Galveston Ball.
Wow.
And then I went to college after high school, U of H.
Okay.
didn't want to be far away from my family, but not close enough that somebody can call you and be like, can I get a ride? Can
Right.
you take me to the grocery store?
Exactly.
Like, girl, I live in Houston, I can't help you.
Right.
So close enough, but not far away. So graduated from the University of Houston, Texas Southern for a master's degree in early childhood education. Worked in banking, and then, let's see, I did early childhood for most of my career.
Okay.
So real estate is a new leaf for me.
Okay.
Probably when my husband and I got together, that's when real estate and I kind of got married.
Okay.
Right. So I've been early childhood trained, early childhood educated, and I always knew that I wanted to be in real estate.
Okay.
I didn't know how. I didn't know when.
Yeah.
I bought a house at 25.
Oh.
And I always said, this is my starter home. This will be a rental house.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know how that would happen. I just kind of manifested that that's what that would be.
Yeah. Now, where did you get that instinct from, do you think?
Banking. So I worked at Washington Mutual at the time. Okay, so I'm really showing my age. Washington Mutual. I worked at Washington Mutual at the time as a personal banker. So I graduated from college and went into banking as a personal banker.
Okay.
But I was in Westview, which is one of the richest little cities in the
Right.
country.
Yeah.
I think I've read that somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it was there that I learned all of my financial acumen.
Yeah.
So not my parents, not my family. I think the message that most of us receive is go to school, get a job, retire.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I saw these people that came into this branch and they did something completely different from that, which really opened my eyes. And it's also amazing how much people share with strangers.
Yeah.
And so I would see things like a couple would get married and they would come into the bank with just checks. I mean, literally $130,000, $400,000 in checks.
Wow.
And we're like, well, what's this? Like, oh yeah, my uncle's giving us a down payment for a house.
Wow.
Or we just got married and our families, sold into our marriage this way.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Baby showers or a new baby coming. In lieu of gifts, they would take donations for their college fund. So a parent would come in with a 2-year-old and make a $10,000 deposit with just checks and cash because that's what the family gave. That's what they asked for.
Wow.
I mean, so just completely changed my little trajectory, honestly, because what I learned from my family and what society tells us to do was something completely different from what I picked up at that bank.
Yeah.
So that's where I got that kind of desire from.
Yeah.
And I had the knowledge. And that's pretty much all I had. I read books.
Yeah.
I met people who did these kinds of things. And then I met my husband.
Yeah.
Okay. And he had the know-how, the tinker.
Yeah.
He came from a home building company.
Okay.
He worked for small companies in the building industry. So he saw how those businesses were run.
Okay.
So we paired the knowledge with the know-how and you get Kevin
Look
and
at
Ayesha.
that. I
Yeah.
love when that happens in love stories. Like, it's just like it was meant to be.
So divine, like so perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful. that-
Yes. I won't even ask you how y'all met because I'm going to wait till both of y'all come. Because I love hearing
Okay.
both versions of those stories.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
okay, that's really, really dope. Okay, so how did you then transition from education into doing real estate full time? What was that like?
Let's see. So like I said, he had the know-how, I had the knowledge, right? So he did all of these things. He built houses, he renovated things, but he never knew, and he did it for other people, but he never understood how to go about doing it. And I was like, you can use other people's money to make money. And he was like, yeah, you can. Let's do that. And we did.
Yeah.
So we built our rental portfolio off of OPM.
Yeah.
And when we first started in real estate, we did everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Airbnb, long-term rental, renovation. So fix and flip. Everybody loves a good fix and flip.
Yes.
And so that was kind of like the start of what we did. And it took, I would say, a financial crisis.
Okay.
So we did everything.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot of lessons financially. for us to learn that you can be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And so that's when we hone in on what is it, who do we want to be, what is it that we want to do, and that's when we focused on new construction, single family homes, and real estate sales. So here I am, the sales agent, he's the builder. Together we make this dynamic team that builds and sells homes.
Now, do you guys still have rental properties? Are y'all still in that space?
We do have rental properties. We sold our short-term rentals. And so I know that with we did education in short-term rental, like how to do Airbnb and all this other stuff. Scrap all of that. So we sold our short-term rentals, and we had to sell off a portion of our portfolio because of what happened in 2019. You know what I mean? So great lessons to learn. I wouldn't have it any other way. Hardest lesson of our lives. I can speak for myself. Hardest lesson of my life, but I wouldn't have it any other way because it makes us so much better business people.
Absolutely.
And so it's funny how they say, when you go through the fire, it makes you better. The fire really sucks. Oh my God, we're so much better on the other side.
Yeah, it really does. That is so true. And so I'm so intrigued by real estate. So to hear that story, and even to hear, you tried all these different things, but then you had to really hone in on, okay, what makes sense for us to do.
Absolutely.
So when did Park Street come to exist? Because your husband was working for other companies. Then how did that transition into just starting your own building company?
So we did renovations, and we have a passion for the community. And so where we did renovations was in the communities that are underserved. And whatever Kevin does, he does it to 10,000%. And so we went into the Third Ward, South Union communities. We would renovate these homes. They would be beautiful, immaculate. Everybody loved it. However, the market didn't support such beauty in our communities. And so most investors that came into these communities, they did the bare minimum, put it on the market, flipped it. So when it came time for appraisal, we have beautiful fixtures. We have, brand new windows. We replaced the windows throughout. We fixed the foundation, but we couldn't recoup that at the sale, right? So that was kind of like we need to do something different. We can't control with the renovation. You can't control what's behind the walls. You don't know until it's too late what the foundation looks like. And you do your due diligence, of course. But with new construction, you just go in, you buy the materials, you construct it, you know exactly what's going to be there. We took that and said, this is probably a better bet.
And then you just started the company.
And then we started the company.
Just like that.
That's it. I think, let me see, the first new construction house we did started off as a renovation. It was in such bad shape that it fell in, like it imploded. So we took it down, literally scraped the lot and built a new house instead. So its intention was to be a renovation. Turned out to be a new construction home. And honestly, now that I think about it, we never looked back from there. After we did that one house, we were like, oh, wait a minute. That was so much easier. And it was also so much easier to extract the value from it because it was a new construction, right? So that is how we got into the new construction.
That was like a blessing in disguise there.
It was, totally.
Wow. Okay, and so how important is it working with your husband? I know you said that it's just like a perfect pairing, which I know, that probably comes with its, ins and outs. But what does that mean for you to be working together with your husband, and what does that look like on a day-to-day?
So I consider us to be extremely blessed. Most people are like, oh my God, y'all work together all the time. That's got to be awful. It's amazing. Like, I like him. I like spending time with him. Whenever we get together, it's just like good stuff happens. It's funny, the Marriage and Real Estate podcast came because we would just have such good conversations together. We was like, man, somebody should have heard this. This was really good. And so that's when we hopped on the Marriage and Real Estate podcast and let other people hear the musings between the two of us. So, what does God say when one or two or more are gathered? Right? So I think that marriage is like the divine mastermind. Like you put two people together and it just...
Absolutely.
And not everybody. So it doesn't work out that way for everybody. But truly, we have that kind of spark.
And can you just, this is like a random side note, talk about that beautiful trip that he sent you on to Greece?
Yes.
Can you give us a little bit of information about that?
I truly have the most thoughtful husband ever. And I'm sure there's other thoughtful husbands out there, but mine is like, wow. Which is kind of kind of sucks because I'm not that thoughtful. Like, I'm definitely afterthought kind of person.
I feel like that. My husband's so much better than I am.
Oh my God. I really need to be better. But he sent me to, so when we set our goals for the year, so we get together every year and we set goals. We set professional goals, personal goals, spiritual goals.
Yeah.
And one of my goals was to do yoga consistently.
Okay.
And so he booked a trip for me to go to a yoga retreat in Greece.
Wow. That is big.
And it was it was amazing.
Those pictures were beautiful.
I looked out of the window every day and thought, everybody needs to experience this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had such gratitude for the ability to take in such beauty.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, like, everybody won't be able to experience this though, and they just should. It was amazing. Lots of self-discovery. Met some amazing people that I feel like will be, lifelong friendships.
Yeah. So you were by yourself?
I went with a friend.
Okay.
I did. So he sent me with a friend. He's like, pick a friend who you want to go.
Wow.
And I did.
Yeah.
And we had a great time.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I love that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm from the pictures. I was just living through the pictures.
Yeah. You should go.
Yeah.
Put it on your list.
I'm going to put it on my list. Jesse, you've been to Greece, I think, right? Not Greece. Okay, he's been like all these countries, but I think we got to share stories like that because so many times you hear all the negative stuff, but your story is so beautiful and
thank you.
I love it. But talk a little bit about the Ayesha Shelton real estate team and what has that been like building that? How important is that?
It has been a journey, right? I have never managed people, right?
Okay.
I've been in leadership roles, but I've always managed to skirt that management part. You know what I mean? Like, oh, y'all be over people? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, put me over process systems.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Put me over people. I'm like shying away from that. So this is the first time that I've been in a place where I am to lead people.
Yeah.
And boy, have I learned lots of lessons, but they've been great lessons.
Yeah.
So full transparency, I started a team, I guess, a year ago. This will be about a year. And I've had at least 5 members on that team, on my team in that year.
Okay.
Right? And with each person, I feel like we all learned about each other and ourselves, and I got new people. So now I'm down to like a 2-person team.
Okay.
And it's been, in my opinion, it's been a great journey.
Yeah.
I'm always looking to learn, right? So I'm always asking God, like, what am I supposed to learn from this situation?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to learn in this space?
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been very blessed because he kind of gives that to me. He'd be like, okay, it was this, and this. And I go, oh, yeah, that does make sense. Okay.
Yes.
So it's been good, though. It really has been good.
And as an agent, because I mean, like for me, a new agent, and we get to see Nicole and her team and what that looks like, and now you and your team. I think an agent, you don't really quite understand the benefit of that from the outside looking in.
Yep.
But you guys are really showing us that it really, really is impactful. For a new agent, how would you say, how should we approach that type of situation?
So you really have to evaluate what is most important to you, right? And so with the team, it is... And my spiel is always like, if you can make $100,000, do you care how you get there?
Yeah.
Right? With a team, you can get there a lot faster than if you were by yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So the commission splits are the commission splits. And a lot of times, especially when we start off in real estate, commission splits are very important to us. We look at the commission and be like, oh, wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if you were to close more deals, which on a team, you should be able to close more deals than you would if you were not on a team,
right,
you can get to your goal faster.
Yeah.
And it's really just a map, right? So if I say I want to make $100,000, I work my way backwards. So $100,000, how many deals do I need to close a month to reach that goal?
Yeah.
How many calls do I need? Like, it's all math. How many calls do I need to make? How many calls convert to a lead? You know, so you just make a goal, and then work your way backwards. And then the benefit of the team is that they kind of feed you that. Also, let me be very clear, it's not just feeding you leads. There's the accountability piece that comes with it. There's the camaraderie from the team. There's learning from the people around you. You know, as a single agent, you just out here trying to figure it out. When you're on a team, we invest the money in marketing you. We invest the money in bringing you leads. We invest the money in teaching and growing you as well.
I love it. It's dope. And we didn't talk a lot about motherhood, but you do have kiddos. How does that work with you and your husband being so busy in real estate?
Let me be very clear. It's not easy, and we have help.
Yeah.
And it's funny. So I remember when we first started out, I was at a brunch for women, a women's brunch, and there was this young lady who's a friend of mine now. She was speaking, and I said, "How do you hold it together? How on earth do you and your husband do all of these things?"
Yeah.
With kids, because I just don't see it.
Yeah.
It's impossible. And she said, so this is going to sound real Housewives of Atlanta, but we have 2 nannies. We have a morning nanny and we have an evening nanny. And I was like, yep, definitely sounds real Housewives of Atlanta. And I get it now.
Yeah.
I feel like if we had regular lives and regular jobs, we would be able to keep up, right? But our work is our life, and our life is our work, and so they blend a lot, and they do take up a lot of our time, and so we need help. We just need help. So we do. We have a nanny, and they go to school during the day, and in the evening time we have a nanny that helps with dinner and baths, and she's assisting us, and that doesn't mean that we aren't home with our kids. She's there too. I'm there, she's there, but she is a helpful hand throughout the day.
Girl, I'm not mad at that at all.
It's amazing. I'm just saying.
We need a nanny like right now. But no, just right
get
now,
one.
please.
It will change your life. Also, like the quality, I feel like the quality of the interactions with our children is much better because we're rested. We're not stressed out. Like, let's be real, toddlers are stressful.
Yeah, they are.
So you come home from being stressed at work or whatever you were experiencing at work, at home to like toddlers who hungry, busy, like they need a lot of things too. So you never get the time for yourself to like woosah. Now that we have the help from the nanny, we do have that time to like, if I just need to go and be by myself, that's a choice that I can make. Most parents don't have that choice. You got these kids, and they are here, and they need all the things.
Absolutely. So, and you work hard to be able to have those things for yourself. And hey, girl, I love it. What is next for you guys? Like, what does the next 5 years look for y'all? I know you guys are completely taking over South Union.
That is definitely the goal. So we have a lot of projects in the pipeline. Like, we haven't even scratched the surface of what's about to happen with Park Street and the sales, right? So I think solidifying relationships and I have a lot of secret things under contract right now that will reveal bigger projects too, and making our mark definitely on the city of Houston. Yeah,
you are absolutely doing that. And you're really big on community outreach as well.
Absolutely.
Talk about that before we wrap, because your mom was in that realm as well, and now you're walking those steps. Tell about it a little bit.
So I feel like I was groomed to be this, right? My father is the pastor of a church in Galveston. So, obviously they give a lot. And then my mother is the executive director of a nonprofit that's like 30 years old this year.
Wow.
Yes. And I grew up, so I'm 30-something. So I grew up giving back. Service is just a part of my DNA. And so everything that we do in our companies, it is reflective of how can we affect change and how can we give back. And that's exactly what we do. Wherever we lay a house, we want to figure out how we can add value.
And what is that struggle like in some of the communities that are, poverty stricken and maybe have some type of violence? Have y'all ran into a lot of conflict with that?
No. So the neighbors are all very happy to see such beautiful homes pop up, in their neighborhood, and they see the benefit and the value. We've had theft on the site, but I feel like that happens everywhere. That happens everywhere. Really funny story. So we had a showing yesterday, and they wanted the builder to walk through, and it was a couple that didn't quite look like us, which is fine because I feel like they come into the neighborhoods and they see it, right? They know, okay, this is going to change and this is going to be a great investment for me. Our street is typically really quiet, but yesterday was MLK day, and there was a parade, and MLK was closed. So on this normally very quiet street, that day it got got real ratchet, like real ratchet. As
Extra
soon as they showed up, I mean, it was swangers, it was music, very loud. There was trunks that were popped with neon lights and signs that said, "Stop hating on me." There were ladies hanging out the roof of cars as well as driving down the street in a side-by-side fashion. So it was real crazy. I was like, well, I'm sure we can hang that up. But, and you can always say, like, it's really not normally like this.
Yeah.
Because it's really not. But that was so interesting. I was like, okay, well, the Lord was just telling them, this is not your house.
This ain't for you. Yeah. That is so funny.
It was so funny. I laughed. I was like, oh, okay.
There's nothing you could even say.
I can't even say anything about it. But honestly, I think that it really has positively impacted the community.
Yeah.
We are not only doing market rate houses, but we also partner with Midtown Redevelopment to bring affordable housing to that area as well.
Nice.
So we'll be building 10 affordable houses right in the same place that we're building $325,000 houses in the same area. So again, we're very much community focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love y'all. I'm so proud to be in your life a little bit.
I'll take it.
And I'm going to have your husband back next month.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to have y'all for the couples edition.
Okay.
So please tell him.
Cool.
Thank you so much. But tell everybody how they can connect with you and see everything you got going on.
Yes. Okay. So here we go. Let me go down the list. Ayesha Shelton on Instagram and Ayesha Shelton on Facebook. Grand Park Square, which is the development that we're doing on the south side. So at Grand Park Square, at Park Street Homes, and that's on Facebook, Instagram, at marriageandrealestate.com. And you can hear our podcast on all major podcasting networks, including YouTube.